Hello, alumni around the world. We are Jupay Money Transfer, a remittance organization that makes it easy to send funds from USA, UK, and Canada to Ghana. Last year, we proudly sponsored the National Science and Math Quiz and supported schools through our promo code initiative. Indeed, it was an honor to visit the schools, the teachers, coordinators, and the brilliant students. We are excited to discover the amazing project the schools are going to use our presentations for. This year, we are excited to continue. For every use of your school's promo code, your alma mater receives $20 to support developmental projects and initiatives. Send money, support your school, and make a difference today. Meet a need, send via Jupay.
Dear Muggers, please download the Jupay app and use the promo code SCIENCE when sending money down to Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Jupay Money Transfer.
Money, need, send via Jupay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to the day 2 of the 1/8 stage of the National Science and Maths Quiz. Yesterday's contests were intense, but today I think you can all agree with me that the pressure really doubled. Once again, it is day 2 of the 1/8 stage, and the road to the quarterfinals becomes narrower as the minutes goes by. Each school steps on this stage and clearly knows what is at stake. There are no second chances. It's either you emerge victorious or you are eliminated. This is the NSMQ Review Show, and I am your host, Stephen Imo. Helping me with today's analysis are Bernard, who is a former contestant of Osei Tutu Senior High School, and Mr. Joshua, who is a coordinator for St. James Senior High School and Minors Seminary. Kindly note that this is produced by Prime Time, and the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOL PLC and supported by Momo from MTN, Joy News, Jupay Money Transfer, Pepsodent, Prudential Life Insurance, Trustar AI, Rwand Air, Adansi Travels, Spain City Landromat, Kivo Gari, Coronation Insurance, Secure Sanitary Pad, Bell Beverages, Flora Tissues, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University College, Imago from Hashcom, GTP, and YFM. We go straight into it. You are welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
It's nice having you here.
Nice having you.
So I'll start with you, Bernard. You were a contestant for Osei Tutu Senior High School in 2017.
Yes.
This is a question we ask all past contestants who come onto our show. What was your experience whilst on stage, and what memorable moments do you remember from the time you were a contestant?
Well, it was an interesting one. My most memorable experience was when I was able to collaborate with my counterpart, Mohammed Abdul Kader, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Kader, in answering the speed race questions. You see, normally it's difficult to collaborate, yes, especially it was a calculation question and we answered it very well.
And the speed race was relatively new then, so
yes,
schools have now started trying to find tactics
yes,
in answering the speed race questions. Thank you very much. And Mr. Joshua, you are the coordinator for St. James Senior High School and Minors Seminary. St. James had initially, before 2022, did not really have an impressive run at the National Science and Maths Quiz. But after that, from the time they maintained the seed by going to the semi-finals of the competition in 2022, they have been very consistent in maintaining their seed and giving excellent performances at the National Science and Maths Quiz. So what happened? What made the administration of the school put so much effort in the National Science and Maths Quiz now as compared to then?
Yeah, St. James is a school that stands for excellence. We are very, very hardworking, and so when you come to St. James, everybody is trying very hard to see a place where they can improve the school. And so the administration of the school sat down, teachers, everybody, and we are taking the WASI and for a couple of the WASI best for some time, and I'm sure everybody is aware. And the school saw that this is also an area where St. James can do very well in if we put in a lot of effort. And so the school started to channel its efforts into that area. We are not there yet, but we know we will get there.
It's funny how when we were in school back in 2017, if you meet any student from St. James, they'll tell you that, what is their focus? They don't have interest in NSMQ. And today I have St. James friends who were complaining about the performance today. And I was like, so you people really wanted to take part in this thing and you acted as if you didn't really care much. And that's very interesting. So at the SGS auditorium, we had Amenia Ampong coming up against Ebri Presby SHS and Adiembra SHS. Amenia Ampong SHS won the contest with 55 points, Ebri Presby 35, and Adiembra SHS 28 points. Were you expecting Amenia Ampong to win this particular contest?
I was, actually. I think I've seen their training. We've witnessed them in the trial contest, and based on the schools that they were going to meet, the predictions were in their favor. Yes.
Okay, sure. Are you saying that just based on their prelims performance where they had 69 points, do you think that gave them an edge in the 1A stage of the competition?
I think normally when you start from prelims, it enables you to have a feel of what the stage entails, and it prepares you. But that notwithstanding, that's not the only factor that helps. I think your preparation, how you're able to answer questions from your home base to this point also matters.
Then, based on what you just said, let me chip this in. So are you saying that Adi Sadel is doing well this year because he started from the prelims? Because in previous years, 2023, 2024, they were regional champions, only to come to the national stage to lose to St. Louis 2023, last year to APAM SHS. Are you saying they are doing well this year because they started from the prelims?
I stated that the level of preparation from your home base, so it's a year long or even more for some of the contestants. So when we get to the stage, it's just a showcase of what you have been doing behind the scenes. And I think they've been doing their best so far. So they do fall within that category.
Sure. I saw trials of St. James in the Ashanti region. Please, did you meet Amenia Ampong SHS in any of the trials?
We did.
And based on the performance they showed then, were you expecting them to win this particular contest?
You should have seen the period when the balloting was taking place. You should have seen other schools. Amenia Ampong was the school a lot of people wanted to avoid. Because if you observed, if you want to keep long in the competition this year, you wanted to avoid some schools. If you follow the trials of Amenia Ampong, they were doing so well. Amenia Ampong missed the seeded stage by just
a tiebreaker last year.
Yes, a very small last year. And so this year, they put in a lot of effort, a lot. Amenia Ampong, those who were following Amenia Ampong knew that it was a few schools. People wanted to avoid them, and Amenia Ampong was one of them. So I was not surprised at all. They worked hard. And so this result is just evidence of what they worked for.
Sure, thank you very much. Now let's talk about your contest. St. James Senior High School and Minor Seminary won the contest with 54 points, Mankesim SHS 38, and Presby SHS Uhum 16 points. So let me add this so that you understand both together. So in as much as you won the contest, some of your old boys are concerned, especially when it comes to the round 2. The net score or the net points you garnered at the round 2 was 0, plus 1 minus 1, so at the end you had nothing at the round 2. And based on your preparations towards this quiz, do you have reasons why that happened?
My friends in the NSMQ arena will tell you just win. And so whatever happens, win your contest. And I think my boys did just that. Of course, it puts everybody was tensed when it happened because nobody knew what was going on. It was partly, it was a lot of things, but the point is just win. and they executed just that. That's all, just win, and they won.
But don't you think that becomes a problem going into the quarterfinals? Because as you go forward, you meet better schools, so you can't put some of these things to chance.
NSMQ is an interesting place. If my boys had not done this before, then I'll be very worried. But it is also not to say that we have become complacent, and so we are not going to be mindful of what has happened in round 2. But my boys have also had a round 2 where I'm sure other schools watched before they came, and they saw my boys excel. And so this is also a surprise to us. We are going to work on it. So it is not to say we won't work on it. We will. But I still trust that my boys still have it in there too.
Sure. Then I must add that I watched your regional championship finals. And I think at the finals, you picked like 8 or 9 of the speed race questions.
Yeah.
So I thought you are too fast and too good this year. But from the performance I witnessed today, I was a bit skeptical about it in terms of you progressing or going further in this year's competition.
Yeah, if that was easy, today there's been a lot, I'm sure we'll talk about it, there have been a lot of upsets. And so it is NSNQ. And so expect anything. Expect everything. And so this is one of the things you should expect. As a trainer, like I said, you should not be complacent. This is a problem. Maybe we didn't see this previously, that questions of this nature can be so challenging to our students. And so as a trainer, or as trainers, my team has seen this. And so we have already started work on it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bernard, at the CNC auditorium, OC82 SHS won their contest with 43 points, West Africa SHS 36 points, and Hoho EP SHS 21 points. Were you impressed with the performance of OC82 SHS today?
Frankly speaking, I would say their performance was quite moderate. We had higher expectations, and in as much as we didn't get what we expected, I think we were glad that at least we've won, we've sailed through, we've maintained our seeded position. The rest of the work comes in polishing the students, making sure we work on the areas where we thought there were challenges, and quite a number of them were not technical. We realized that there are the techniques that they missed out on, so we just have to go back to the drawing board and then work on them. But all in all, it was okay.
It was okay. Okay, sure. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Joshua, at the Auditorium 900, in Price SHS won their contest with 30 points, coming up against Sunyani SHS, both of you from the same region, 28 points, and KNST SHS, 24 points. There were lots of protests in this particular contest. I don't know if that is why they had very low marks, but what can you say about this contest?
The scores were very low right from round 1 to the end of the contest. Actually, we expected more, but the scores were very low. More importantly, the lady in the Empraiso team, very good.
Yeah, she was here last
very, very well composed. Rosalinda, very well composed. Personally, I like it when girls are advancing in science and maths, and so very well composed. If she's watching this, she should keep it up. Yeah, very well composed. For the protest, there were a few questions here and there in the true or false, where we thought that a lot of attention can be given to some of the questions. I think eventually one of the chemistry questions had to be changed because there were exceptions that would then make a particular question false. But it had been written true. So after a protest and a lot of back and forth, I think all technical people agreed that it is what it is. Then I think there was also the issue of some protests coming in late. So some of the trainers also did bring the protests quite late. And so Prime Time, out of fairness, decided to, or the production team, out of fairness, decided to listen to the protests. There were some of the protests also that didn't go at all. Some of the protests, the trainers just had to let it let it go. I think that the game is still getting better. Some of these things are to be expected. Yeah. And it is information, it is academic work. And so kudos to the production team for allowing the academic exercise to go on, because people at home are watching this. And so if they see this and it's wrong, and nobody works on it, they take this home, and it becomes a problem for the whole world. And so kudos to the production team for allowing the corrections to be done, even though they came late.
Yeah, sure. At the SGS auditorium, this contest actually shocked me. Swedru SHS won the contest with 36 points, Kumasi High School 31, and Anlo SHS 30. Kumasi High School hasn't been bad at all this year at the regionals and even in some of the trials they took part in before coming to the national stage. Most people thought this was going to be a revenge from last year when they had exceptionally good students, only to lose to Swedru Senior High School at 1-8. So when they saw this pairing, I'm sure they had a lot of hope that this is time for them to prove. This is a time for them to prove that what happened last year was a mistake, but it didn't happen like that. Was this expected?
It wasn't. It wasn't at all, because we all thought Kumasi High School had the upper hand over Swedru, and they were coming in. I mean, it's a revenge affair, so I'm coming to pay you back for what you did to me last year. But surprisingly, it took a different turn, and I was shocked when I was monitoring. We've seen their progress from Kumasi, how they were performing during the trial contest, and we anticipated that as for this year, they would make it through to, the next level. So after we saw the pairings, we all thought that, okay, fair enough. This is a chance for us to redeem ourselves from what happened last year. But unfortunately, it took a different turn, and some of us are still in shock. But I think it's, as he said, it's a game. Anything happens, you cannot really pinpoint that it follows a specific trajectory. Whilst you are there, just one question, just one moment of loss of composure can affect everything that you are doing. So it was quite competitive, and eventually the loss came. I think it's about going back to prepare and then coming back again next year, because I know Kumasi High School has been doing well in previous years. They've been making it consistently to the semi-finals until they took a dip and eventually started getting back, and this has also happened. So more room for improvement.
It looks like they are going back to 2019, 2020, 2018, where they had to go to the prelims back to back. Yeah. We all thought they found their feet, only to lose at the 1/8 on two consecutive occasions. Now at the CNC auditorium, Pope John Senior High School and Minor Seminary won the contest with 58 points. Ghana SHS Tamale, who are the regional championship finals, were second actually with 25, and Awudome SHS with 23 points.
They actually lost. I don't know why you changed it to second. They lost because they are going home, so they lost. So if you go back to school and your headmaster actually say we were second, you lost. You are going home. So that's on the lighter side. But I mentioned that there were some schools people wanted to avoid because they were doing so well in trials, and Pope John's was one of them. I'm not surprised at all. They also put in a lot of effort. In fact, Pope John's put in an entire system to try to get to where they are. Last year, St. James met Pope John's.
Yeah, and yes, the quarterfinal.
They did very well. St. James and Pope John's lost to Presec. Yes, in this. And so from there, I saw that whatever they had put into the game was beginning to bear fruit. And if you monitor their trials down the lane to this very contest, you won't be surprised at what they got. Maybe they should have even scored more. So Pope John's, Ameniampon, these are schools that worked hard. And so the results are showing from their hard work.
Okay, sure. Because I think after 2017, Pope John had a dip. So they came back in 2022, 2023 at the semi-finals where they lost to OAS. Last year, lost to Presec at the quarterfinals. And this year, from the trials, they've been doing exceptionally well. Let's talk about the schools, a little bit about the schools from the northern part of Ghana, the northern region. The best school there in terms of this competition, Tamale SHS, who presented Form 2s last year, had lost their contest yesterday to St. Thomas Aquinas. And it looks like we don't have any school from the north in the competition as of now. There is no seeded school from the north. What do you think is making the performance of those schools, like in terms of the SMQ, go down like this? Or is it geographical? Because sometimes I think from where they are traveling to do trials in other regions probably becomes an issue.
Barring Tamasco, I think they have a whole system in place which has been helping them consistently over the years. So it came as a shock when they lost, in as much as it was St. Thomas Aquinas they were meeting, even though Aquinas too has been doing well of late. I believe the NSMQ requires a lot of tact, commitment, so much endurance, because you deal with a lot of processes, even getting materials to study, and then the financial implications too, they matter. And you need a robust support from your old students association. I think Tamasco has been privileged to get majority of these things. For the other schools, I can't say so much for them because you've not also been seeing them participate actively in the competition over the past 31 years. So it has become something that is new to them. So if you are coming to join and then you don't have a good system in place, it becomes difficult. And as you said, the distance too has an effect, because if you are coming for a trial contest, we are in Kumasi, or say it is in Kumasi. If we are going to Bono region, say we are going to meet St. James, distance-wise, compared to Tamasco coming to meet them, it poses a challenge. And at the end of the day, all these things, it boils down to the financial implications and making sure that the coordinators would have the patience, because this game is heartbreaking at a point. If you are not careful, you just give up. And these factors make it challenging for the northern schools. But I think over the years, they are gradually picking up and they are marching up. It's quite unfortunate this year we are not having better representation for them with the loss of Tamasco.
Sure. Thank you very much for your submission. Mr. Joshua, at the SGS auditorium, Abetifi Presby SHS won the contest with 54 points.
Yeah.
Wesley Girls High School, regional champions from the central region, where they claim is the citadel of education, came in second with 49 points, and Kumasi Secondary Technical School with 41 points. Before you say anything regarding this contest, I'd like to give you a brief issue about what the schools from the Eastern region are doing. The schools from the Eastern region are doing exceptionally well in the quiz, started from last year. And in the preliminary stages, most of the schools from the Eastern region won their contest. When we needed 7 runner-ups to join, 5 out of the 7 were from the Eastern region. And this is Abetifi Presby. Abetifi Presby was at the semifinals in 2023. At the semifinals in 2023, had to go to the prelims last year and came back stronger this year. So were you expecting Wesley Girls High School, regional champions, and we know their performance, to lose to Abetifi Presby in this contest?
This is one of the biggest upsets of this year's NSMQ. You should have seen the shouting and screaming among students and trainers alike this evening when Wesley Girls lost. Abetifi has done well. Wesley Girls, better hard luck. This one, it was just, but it just goes to show that Abetifi put in a lot of work. If there is a current banter going on between Eastern, Central, and Ashanti, this one is backstage. Don't say I said it here. But you see, there's a current banter going on where we are counting seats and so on. And so after that T4 issue, Eastern was really receiving a lot of trolls And so Central was giving it to Eastern back and forth just like that. And so Abetifi doing this to Central, there's a lot of joy in the Eastern camp. It has turned the role upside down. Yeah, but we are all surprised. We are all shocked. We thought that it goes to show you that the NSMQ, there are a lot of unexpected twists and turns. Every contest is unique. If you bring yesterday's uniqueness to today, you may be shocked and surprised. And maybe that is what may have happened to Wesley Girls. This was a unique contest, a different contest. And they received an upset.
Yeah, sure. The last time they were regional champions was in 2020. They got to the quarterfinals that year, lost to Opokwari School at the quarterfinals. We hope they come back stronger. So the last contest for the day, Auditorium 900, had St. Augustine's College winning the contest with 54 points. St. John's Grammar School, 49, Kumasi Academy, 46. That was a keenly contested one. In fact, they had to take the riddles for St. Augustine's to win this contest. And from their trials this year, they've been tipped as one of the schools likely to win this competition, only to put up this performance. It wasn't bad, but what do you think about it?
I think St. John's Grammar had a fighting chance. They had a window of opportunity, but I don't know what happened on stage. Suddenly, it was like things overturned. Whilst St. Augustine's has been doing very well, this was an equal opportunity for St. John's Grammar to turn the tide in their favor. I think they were leading by 1 point.
1 point at the end of round 4.
So all that was needed was composure, patience. But as I say, when you are on stage, the feeling is totally different from when you are sitting within the audience. So they should have taken their time, but it also reflects what St. Augustine's has been doing with regard to their preparation. I think they won with the experience, because you get to a particular level, you realize that where it has gotten to is not just about the academic stuff, it's about taking your time, knowing when to press the bell, knowing what to say. So that gave them an upper hand over St. John's Grammar, and maybe Kumasi Academy could have also helped in a way, but I mean, it's independent work, so you can't say we are collaborating. But all in all, it was a good contest. But I think St. John's Grammar can come in better next year.
Sure, thank you very much. So we are going to quickly try to predict the winners for tomorrow's contest. The first contest, contest 19, at the SGS Auditorium, will feature St. Peter's SHS, Ukwapeman School, and Osei SHS.
Wow. The St. Peter's and Okwas promises to be a very, very tight one. Whoever has followed these two schools would know that they are not easy. They are not going to be easy tomorrow. St. Peter's are coming back very wounded, wanting to win their title again. Okwas also has a very good team. Last year they had a very good team, but things just didn't go for them. And this year they worked harder. And so at trials it was evident in what we were seeing. If you follow their championships, you see that there was a lot of fire in the boys. They wanted to do more. And that is what they bring. So it is going to be a clash. I see it as a clash between St. Peter's and then Okwas. Yeah.
Sure, thank you. And to our last prediction, Koforidua Secondary Technical School, Ofori-Pending SHS, and Farfaha Community SHS. Ofori-Pending had the highest points in their prelim, 79. Koforidua Second Technical School is the seeded school for this particular contest. Who do you tip to win this particular contest?
It's a tough one. I met Engineer George Nana Dako. He's with the Ofori-Pending team, a former College of Engineering president, and I was telling him that they have to do their best and then win. But looking at the fact that Koforidua is a seeded school, you know, when you're a seeded school, sometimes you want to maintain your seed by various means. So it's an all or none affair for them. let me just do my best and then win. But looking at Oforipenyi's performance, I am hoping they will win. However, you should watch out for Kufuor Sectec.
In the last contest, Opokwari School coming up against Amenfiman SHS and Fijai SHS. Should we expect an upset?
The famous Apima squad. You see, OWAS has the experience, and champions die hard. When you have decided that you want to go up against someone who was once a champion or who has the experience, you would want to work harder. That's what worked against St. John's Grammar. The mentality they brought to come and eat a seed.
Now set of schools trying to fight for a place in the quarterfinal stage of the competition. 29 schools battling for just 9 slots to make it to the quarterfinal stage of the NSMQ. Do well to follow the NSMQ on all social media platforms, and kindly remember that the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with Go PLC and supported by Momo from MTN, Joy News, Jupay Money Transfer, Pepsodent, Prudential Life Insurance, Trustar AI, Adanse Travels, Rowand Air, Kivo Gari, Bell Beverages, Flora Tissues, Spain City Landromat, Coronation Insurance, Secure Sanitary Pad, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University College, Imago from Hashcom, GTP, and YFM. And as always, this is a primetime production. See you tomorrow.